do multiple activities every day. We do various chores in our respective homes, and do you know that in these activities, on a molecular level, that another activity is happening? Let's take, for example, the use of hydrogen peroxide in our homes.
We use this substance most of the time, especially when we want to disinfect our wounds. But do you ever wonder how this substance really works? If you're interested, then let's take a look at this experiment.
First, let's get all of the materials that we need. We need hydrogen peroxide solution. Second is a small container or dish. Third, we must have few cotton balls or swabs. Fourth is a small piece of raw meat, which is our source of potential germs. And lastly, it is recommended our safety goggles and protective gloves. Now that we have all the materials, let the experiment begin.
Let's put on our safety goggles and protective gloves first for safety purposes since we are handling chemicals here. Second, let's pour a small amount of hydrogen peroxide solution into our container. Third, soak our cotton ball or swab into hydrogen peroxide solution. Fourth, let's touch the piece of our raw meat here with our fingers or to any potentially unclean surface to introduce some germs onto the meat. And lastly, get the soaked cotton ball and apply the cotton ball to the meat. And now, let's observe what happens. That was quite interesting, wasn't it? From the experiment that we did, it can be observed that there was a formation of bubbles and a fizzing sound was heard as the meat was placed in the container that has hydrogen peroxide. The experiment demonstrated the disinfecting properties of hydrogen peroxide by showing its reaction with microbial contaminants, leading to the release of oxygen gas. This is what happens when we use hydrogen peroxide as a disinfectant.
For further discussion, in and around the wound, our skin cells contain an enzyme called catalase. When hydrogen peroxide is applied, catalase catalyzes the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is a molecule composed of 2 hydrogen atoms and 2 oxygen atoms. It is a pale blue liquid represented as H2O2. It is a liquid with a strong oxidizing properties and is commonly used as a disinfectant and antiseptic. When hydrogen peroxide is applied to a cut, it undergoes a redox reaction. In this reaction, hydrogen peroxide is both oxidized and reduced simultaneously. During this reaction, catalase catalyzes and accelerates the reaction, resulting in the formation of oxygen gas released as bubbles. Hydrogen peroxide then breaks down into water and oxygen as the byproduct. The most noticeable result of this redox reaction is the rapid release of oxygen gas. This oxygen gas, when formed, escapes from the wound and becomes visible as bubbles or foam or effervescence due to the oxygen gas forming and being released. This bubbling was seen in the experiment earlier. The foaming action helps to cleanse the wound by mechanically dislodging and lifting away debris, foreign particles, and dead cells. Additionally, the oxygen released during the reaction has a disinfecting effect as many bacteria are sensitive to high oxygen concentrations, which can help in killing some of the bacteria in the wound. The experiment shown earlier has the following chemical equation: H2O2 hydrogen peroxide plus microbial contaminants present on the meat yields to H2O water plus O2 oxygen gas plus microbial inactivation. The hydrogen peroxide breaks down into water and oxygen gas, while the oxygen gas helps disinfect the meat by inactivating the microbial contaminants. Balancing this equation, we would have our balanced chemical equation for this redox reaction, which is 2H2O2, which is a liquid, plus microbial contaminants present on the meat yields to 2H2O, liquid, plus O2, gas, plus microbial inactivation.
So that's what happens when we use hydrogen peroxide to disinfect. So to sum up all the things that we have learned, hydrogen peroxide is a compound that is used for multiple reasons, such as in disinfection. And from what I've searched, it is a redox reaction. We should not only know the use of it in our daily lives and look at it in a bigger picture, but also how it works in a molecular level. Understanding these redox reactions is important as they play an important role for living a fulfilling life, as they are the basis for a multiple or number of chemical reactions that are essential for our survival as well as the functioning of the world around us, and gain a deeper understanding of the interdependence of chemistry in our daily lives. What a productive day, and we've learned so much more today. So, till next time, that's it for today. Thank you for listening!